We are back. The People's Marathon, because we are with the people at the People's Summit. That's right. So I have another candidate here in South Florida, Stephanie. You are in, Stephanie, last name?
Myers.
Stephanie Myers, running in the Broward County area. What's the district?
So it's House District 93. It's basically the whole coastline of Broward County, almost the whole coastline.
And if you're not paying attention, if you're not a South Floridian, that's a Debbie Downer territory. She's not calling her that. I am.
Yeah,
so that would be.
I'm not gonna pick that fight.
That would be Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, that bastion of progressivism. You're not running against her.
No.
But tell me about your district, who you're running up against, what got you in the race, all those things.
Absolutely, I'm more than happy to share that story. It's a little bit interesting because I am an outsider. So the district is coastal. So one of the main concerns is obviously the environment with the sea level rise, but there's a whole bunch of other issues that are going on. But what really got me started was the Women's March, because I decided, because of a post of a friend from junior high who I had not spoken to in about 20 years, she went ahead and she put up a post that I saw, and I immediately added her as a friend on Facebook, and I said, what can I do to help? And she said, here you go. And I went, what now? Because the biggest thing prior to that I organized was 30 people. But I was absolutely needed to make a difference. I had to make a change. My background's in humanities, so I understand the way that history moves, and when certain things start happening, if you do not get involved, it's calamitous. So I wanted to heal my community, being originally native to South Florida. I love the diversity. I love the people. I wanted to make sure that those that were the most marginalized and are the most marginalized could get there. I wanted to make sure people felt safe. So I just kind of took the bull by the horns and made something happen. And we actually had a turnout of 20 to 25,000 people. It was phenomenal. We anticipated maybe 3,000 to show up because.
And where was this?
This was actually in downtown Miami. It was held at Bayfront Park Amphitheater, and it was phenomenal. We had nonprofits come on board so they could all speak for a couple minutes, get people activated and engaged, because I knew, being somebody from the outside, people want to get engaged now. They really want to help. They want to make a difference. They wanted to feel community again. They wanted to love our diversity, love our city, love our people, love what we stand for. And then we had all the different speakers speak about all the different issues that were always there. They've always been there. But the rhetoric of the election cycle definitely highlighted. And as far as me running, it's very interesting because I was asked to speak at the Unity event with Bernie Sanders and Tom Perez the day before. And people have been talking to me a little bit about it, and I never in a million years thought I would run for office, ever. In fact, I laughed and told them they all needed therapy or they were already high. I don't know, but it was not something I ever thought about. But my speech was about my story and about answering the call to serve. And in the middle of my speech, a woman yelled out randomly in the audience so loud that I turned and I stopped, and I was trying to scan the audience to find out who it was. Later I met her. It was somebody I didn't know, but she yelled out, "Run for office." So by the end of my speech, which is talking about answering the call to serve, I made the decision I am going to run, and I announced I was going to run because I'm here to serve. And that's ultimately what it is. Right now the representation in Florida has a lot of issues based on some of the, I guess, corruption of corporate interests, and the people are suffering for it, whether it be education, whether it be environment, whether it be healthcare. I know these are also all national things, but they're in South Florida. It is absolutely imperative that we start fixing these problems and fixing them now.
Well, I'm gonna get into the corruption, because Florida's got some corruption, but more importantly, overcoming corruption doesn't matter if you're underwater before that happens. There is estimates that Miami could be underwater in 8 to 10 years. Some say earlier.
Possibly less. I mean, I want to say Monday, there was 11 inches in Weston, 11 in one day. And there were alligators roaming the streets. And now you have to understand, Weston, based on the name, is obviously quite west, but it is still Broward County. It used to be part of the Everglades. And I told my friends that live out there, that sucks, I'm so sorry that's happening to you, at least your home is still safe. However, I kind of feel a little bit the Everglades are trying to take it back. It's very, very interesting environmentally what's going on. I mean, home prices continue to rise, but there's also the insurance, the flood insurance is continuing to rise. And with the king tides, I think it's 20 days out of the month now that there's risk of flooding somewhere within the county, and definitely also in Miami-Dade County. And that is just not something that we can ignore anymore. We really need to restore that type of balance to survive economically, even.
And the one thing that, many things trouble me, but You got the Sable Trail Pipeline, which is going right through the Florida aquifer. You have Debbie Wasserman Schultz takes money from the parent company. Bill Nelson takes money from the parent company. Marco Rubio, let's not even bother. Let's not even bother. I mean, all these people are watching literally life and death in the next decade. I'm not dramatizing. That's what scientists say. And they're just taking money hand over fist while a pipeline is being built right through the aquifer, through sinkhole country, by the way, as well. Real quick on that, how do you combat that? You're going to primary them, but the bottom line is, do you feel like climate change is a big enough issue among the grassroots there?
I absolutely 100%. This is something, so I'm native to Miami, and I spoke at the Science March, and I actually talked about the changes that I've seen because I am native. So I'm in my 40s now, so it's been a while that I've lived there. And you used to be able to set your watch in the summer as to when the rain would come in. It would come in and it would be this deluge. It would be horrendous rain. It would be teeming. But you could set your watch 2-3 every day, around there. There would be this teeming 15 to 30 minutes. Now in the summer, it either will rain all day and all night, or just randomly pop up in the middle of the night. And the thing is, everything is just so out of balance. And we all know it. We are all living it. Insurance prices are rising. Home costs are going to start plummeting if we don't get it under control. So the thing is, it's not just that, oh, we need to worry about the sea level rising and the aquifer being tainted by the incoming tides and the salt water and the possible fracking, which still hasn't been banned, and the pipeline, which also will continue to obviously have problems with the aquifer. But everything's also economic. We'll start losing our tourism, which is a major part of what happens in South Florida as part of their income. People's homes will start plummeting. Insurance costs have already started going up. So it's not just, okay, so we need to worry about the environment and be a little bit more environmental friendly. It's literally our entire economy is riding on it and resting on it. And if we don't start to change things and change it now, I don't know what's going to happen, because we are on the brink. I mean, we're already past the brink as far as I'm concerned. So we really need to get people in office that will address it. And I know that everybody that lives there sees these changes, knows it's true, know it's really happening, know it's something that can't be ignored anymore. And we have a governor that won't even allow us to use the word, and I'm going to say it, climate change. I want to say global warming still. But yeah, he won't even allow us to say it.
Yeah, Rick Scott had a little ban. You couldn't mention climate change in his office. By the way, Rick Scott, the same one that went on Morning Joe, that bastion of progressivism, wouldn't condemn this Muslim shaming all over the country. They actually ended the interview, credit to them. Real quick, so Florida, I don't care who the chairman is, Debbie Wasserman Schultz runs that show. She's fairly corrupt. I assume you're not going to take money from Wall Street?
No special interest. In fact, that's one of my claims that I already put up. It was the first thing that I put up on my website, is that I've decided to take no corporate special interest money. I believe that corporate money needs to be out of politics completely. I don't know how you can actually stand for the people if you don't listen to the people, and if you don't take... If you're taking special interest money, you're not standing for the people. I mean, that's really just the bottom line. Mm-hmm. You're standing for developers. You're standing for energy. I mean, there is what's going on right now with Turkey Point is there's actually radioactive waste being put into our aquifer. I mean, are you kidding me? How is this okay? This is our bread and butter, and the people who are the most marginalized, they can't raise their home base when the water starts rising. They can't change the bottled water. They can't put in the things that need the filtration systems. So they're going to suffer the most, and that means there's going to be added health issues. It's just it's just one thing after another.
How can people find out more about you if they want to support you, donate?
MyersForFlorida.com.
That's Myers, F-O-R?
Yes, so it's Myers, M-Y-E-R-S, F-O-R, F-L, or Florida spelled out.
And I don't know if we got into it, but who are you running against? How long has he or she been there?
Okay, so actually he's termed out. Oh. It's actually a red district, but it's very flippable. I do have a primary. I think that we all, for the most part, stand for the same things. They're all great people, but I have a different background, and I have a little bit more history as far as life is concerned. I was in the tech sector, and then I was in banking, and I've been through a couple crashes. And like I said, I have my humanities background, which makes me really understand how important it is to get everybody involved. And I think the more people that really understand that fundamentally, that we are on this precipice, the more that this movement is going to resonate across the board, because this is the new philosophy of our time. And if you know history and you know humanities, you know that philosophies start to happen, that literature and art start to show that philosophy. It becomes a movement, and it changes history the way you want to see it.
I got chills. A banker who cares about people. Give it up, baby. Give it up.
Thank you
very
so much.
Yes, thank you. Cool. Awesome.